Alrighty, traders. I think we are live. We are. Everything looks pretty good on my end from now. Gonna get straight into a market update and give you guys a view of what's happening right now in the stock market, where things are happening right now and what's going on. So that's what I'm going to cover in today's session. And I'm going to be covering, I'm going to be going over that as well. So what I want to cover in today's session is just a quick market update on what's happening right now on the Dow Jones and some of the biggest movers out there. And then we can go from there. Now, if I have a look at, make sure everything's alrighty. Alrighty, guys. So just getting this all set up here so I can see you guys as well too. All right, fantastic. All right, so let's get straight into today's session, and I'm going to give you guys a bit of a market update and what I'm seeing right now and what's happening right now, and talk about like has the short-term momentum shifted in the markets. Before I do that, guys, let me start with the typical disclaimer. Guys, do not place a trade based on what you see in this session today, because trading is risky. It can cause substantial financial loss. There is no guarantees of making money in the markets, and it takes you a long time to become a really good trader. So be smart about the way that you are trading these markets, okay? Also, guys, I am running a massive flash sale on a trading course that I have. If you go to John's, JOHNS flash sale, John's flash sale, then you'll be able to johnsflashsale.com, and you'll be able to get access to that trading course as well too. And also, if you want to get access to my Master Trader Lab for a free trial for that, just go to mastertraderlab.com. So let's get straight into the markets right now. Let me share with you what I see right now. So I'm going to go and share with you what's going on right now with the Dow Jones, and we'll go from there. So today what's going on right now today is we got a bit of a rejection day, didn't we? It actually hit my green line through here, and when it hit this green line through here, we actually had a rejection point, and then today we had a bit of a down day. So we're just going sideways through here. We're not really dropping through here yet, and we're not really continuing up. Now, the topic of today's session has momentum shifted. Now, for me personally, it's if I'm looking at the momentum right now, the momentum is still just slightly to the upside. It's starting to slow a little bit right now, but we still haven't changed. Once the market closes below 24,200, that's when the momentum, the short-term momentum, is going to shift. It's going to change. And we can have a low through here, a low, and another low through here. And so when this 24,200 level, once that gets closed below there on the Dow Jones, that's when the short-term momentum, from this up leg here, is going to shift to the downside. Once that happens, then we should start to see a bit more of a cascading effect of selling happening, and we should see a bit of a run back down towards these lows through here. So that's what I'm seeing there on the Dow Jones. Same for the S&P 500. The S&P 500, the line in the sand for me, which is what comes to the short-term momentum, is this point through here. So it's pretty much, I'd have to say, pretty much that 2,600 level is the short-term momentum shift in the markets. If we get a close below that, then and then you can see if we get a close below that, then that's when we're likely to see a lot more downside to come out of that in the markets there. So right now we still have short-term momentum to the upside, but we are starting to slow right now. We're not really moving up. We're just sort of moving sideways. It'll be really interesting to see whether we actually do continue up from here. And then if we do, then obviously we can see more upside from there as well too. The thing is that when we're looking at this right now, once again, is that if you're looking for more of a short-term bearish sign, like momentum shifting in the markets from bullish right now, which we have been for the last month, to a bearish momentum, then you want to see a close below the 2,600 level on the S&P. And then on the Nasdaq as well too. The Nasdaq, for me personally, that short-term momentum is actually pretty much my green line there, but it's actually right here is more that level through there is my short-term momentum, sort of the 6,950 level. That level through there is my short-term momentum shift in the markets. So if the markets do shift, and we get a close below that, then I would expect to see a bit more selling happening after that, and we should see a bit more of a selling start to go from that. We haven't actually got that yet in the markets, so but once we do, then we should start to see a bit more sellers in control. And the reason why I say that is I'm looking at the short-term momentum now. I'm talking about the short-term momentum, but if you go back and have a look at all these indices right now, we're still making lower highs. So overall, we still have sellers still in control overall. We still haven't. We still have a lot more of a seller's market because the market is making lower highs through here. So therefore, once again, if we do get a break below that level there, then we should start to see a bit more of a cascading effect happening on the downside through there. Same for the S&P 500. High, lower high. If I just delete that trend line, we don't need that there. I don't need that anymore on the screen. Try to keep it pretty simple. Then we can see that we had a high, a lower high. This still could be some sort of lower high through here. And if we do break down, then the market right now, the market still is in a bearish mode. We have sellers in control because the market is lowering their prices through there. And then if we have a look at the Nasdaq, once again, the Nasdaq, same thing as well too, right? High, lower high, and lower high through there. And we can actually pretty much see, right, that if I draw a trend line, you can see pretty much how this trend line where we are right now, it does that. Basically through there. So you can see here, right, that you can see it rejected it there, we closed right on it there, and then we came below. Now we're getting this point through where we are right now. Once again, we're still making lower highs all the way down. And from that, we can start to see once again, if we get a close below that 6,900 level, then that's this overall sellers in control, and then the short-term momentum. Once the short-term momentum kicks in, then we would expect to see a bit more happening in the markets. So right now, as I speak, short-term momentum is still up right now. It hasn't changed. It's slowing. It's definitely not as strong as it was back through here. So we're definitely in a bit of a point through here. So it depends on what actually happens through here, but yeah. So once again, guys, if the market does start to get a nice close below that 6,900 level, then I would expect to see the Nasdaq start to see a bit more sellers happening in the markets through there. Now going back and looking at silver and gold for the day as well. Once again, we're not really getting much of a sign through there. We are definitely getting a nice significant higher low through here on the daily chart. So we're starting to get a bit more of a buyers in control on the markets there. If we have a look at the GDX is on the short term anyway. We're getting this nice higher low. So we're starting to see some sort of buyers come in control right now on the GDX and also the GDXJ as well too. We're starting to see a lot of, like we got here, and we can see this here, right? We had basically a big double bottom through here. That's what that was. We had a high point up through here. We made a higher high, and that was actually a pretty strong one up. And now we've made a higher low, and we've had some really nice, strong bullish candles out of this. So right now we're getting a lot of bullishness activity, especially in the GDXJ through there. So we are at that trend line once again through there, but we are starting to see definitely a shift, creating a higher high, now higher low. And now we're starting to see a shift back to the upside on these miners through here. So that long-term charts are still bothering me there a bit on those weekly charts. But once again, if we start to get a nice close back above these levels through here, then it could be quite nice movement to the upside. So that's what I'm looking at through there, and that's what I'm seeing. And that's what I'm seeing through there, and that's what I'm seeing in the markets right now. So yeah, and the silver and gold, I'm getting in the, especially in the SLV, right, getting a bit more of a buying activity through there, and the gold as well too. So GOD is actually definitely powering up now. Still high low, high low. As I said before, that long-term picture is definitely still not 100% clear on. There's no definite true trend, but we're definitely starting to get a nice buying activity happening out of gold right now. High low, high low. So again, I still want to see that long-term charts give me a bit more of a true strong direction. But apart from that, we haven't gotten anything as of yet from there. But we are definitely starting to see a lot of buying happening out of the GLD price and so on and so forth, which is once again, which is really, really interesting to see. And for me, that a long-term play, again, I'd want to see the gold GLD above that 130. So let me go through some questions, guys, and then I'll finish up. All right, so let's have a look through here. So Boeing, Apple, Microsoft start the sell-off? Possibly. Who's got earnings today? No one today. Oh, wait there. I know, yeah, Caterpillar's down quite a fair bit, isn't it? So yeah, Caterpillar's actually down 9%. But if you look at Caterpillar, guys, once again, look at Caterpillar here, right? We've got a high, lower high. So we're starting to get a lot of bearishness through here. And then we're getting this gap down through here. So that was Caterpillar. NVDA also had a 13% down day today. Let's go to this chart. We have it obviously, as you can see, right? We had a little bottom through here, but the market was still pretty much on a bearish tone through here, and that was down 13%. Anything else that's come out of that's had a pretty big move? Not really. Apple's pretty slow. Yeah, so Apple's obviously just waiting for earnings. For me personally, guys, looking at this earnings through, looking at this point through here, I can see Apple heading down towards that 120 level. So we'll see. I'm 100% sure. Really, Regis? There's nothing 100% sure about the markets, man. Buy the dip mentality is very strong right now, or is very strong. Not really. If you've been trying to buy the dip on, say, Apple, how have you gone? So yeah. What do you think of TEUM? TEUM. What do I think about it? I don't know. There's not really. We did have a bit of a pullback through here, then we're getting a run up. So it's not. It hasn't had a real breakout through here. Very, very volatile stock. Very volatile stock. Wow. Yeah. So no real opinion on this one here. Again, guys, one thing that's so important to understand is that I don't get into a stock just because I think it's a good stock. Like, oh, this seems like a good stock, so I'm going to buy it. I have a trading chart setup plan that I look for, and within that, that's when I do my analysis. That's when I get into the markets there, which is really, really, really important. So there we go, guys. There's a bit of a short-term update for you. Has momentum shifted on the downside? Not quite, not yet, but it is definitely starting to get to that point there. So Guys, if you'd like to get access to an awesome trading course that I normally sell at, say, $500, you can get access to it today for $700. Just go to Johns, JOHNS, flashsale.com, johnsflashsale.com. It'll redirects you to the page, and you can get access to that trading course. If you'd like to get access to my Master Trader Lab for free, which is a free trial, then go to mastertraderlab.com. All right, guys, well, that's it for me today. Have a great day, and I'll catch you next